Hello, and welcome to the fourth tutorial in this series. In this video I will be going over if statements as well as and/ors within them. We won't be covering else ifs, however those will be covered in a later video. If statements are very useful and used in almost every piece of code, so here's how to use them. To begin, we're just going to set up a few variables just to equal some numbers and strings. So we'll have int a equals 5, int b equals 10, int c equals 15, as well as string d equals hello. These will just be used to display how if statements are used. So let's start off with the very basic. In here we'll have if a equals 5, do whatever you want, and in this case we will have print a equals 5. I'll do that. Now you see I made a very common mistake. It's actually supposed to be equals equals. Otherwise, you are trying to set it to equal what else? This checks if it is equal to what we have. So there it is. Next, we'll be doing if if B is greater than A and B is less than C, then we'll print B is between A and C. So what this does is it checks if B is greater than A, which we have it set to yes, as well as B is less than C. Now if one of these are not true, I'll display that later, but this will not run. And then the third we can have if B equals 10 or A equals 7. Now we know A does not equal 7, that's just for the purpose of showing you how this works. So what this does is it checks if this is true, or that's what these two lines mean, or this is true, and it'll run. So it shows that one only needs to be true, not both. So we'll do B equals 10 or A equals 7. And then finally, the last if statement that we will be covering is strings. So we'll do if d dot equals ignore case. So what that does is if string d equals whatever we write in here, doesn't matter about capitals, that's the equal ignore case. So we could have hello spelled like that and it'll still return true. However, if you just do equals without the ignores case, the case will matter, but we'll just do this, it's nice. Then we'll print d is equal to hello. Alright, so now when we run it, we should see that all these are true. A does equal 5, so we should see A equals 5. B is greater than A as well as less than C, so this should be true. Now B does equal 10, however A does not equal 7, but we only need one to be true, so we should see this. Whoa, what did I do there? Okay. And then here, we know that D is equal to hello. Doesn't matter about the capitals, so this should be printed to the screen. Just to prove that this does work, I'll run it quick. Alright, so there we have it. This is how you use if statements. These are the very basic ones. However, once you know how to do these, you can expand off it and make some pretty great things.